For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Israel launched a wave of strikes across Iran today, saying 200 warplanes attacked 100 targets, including Iran's nuclear program, 2 uranium enrichment sites, military sites, nuclear scientists, and military leaders in residential neighborhoods, killing 70 people, among the dead children, 6 scientists, and 4 top leaders of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced the strikes, warning more are to come.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear holocaust.
Iran said parts of the Natanz nuclear enrichment facility were damaged by the strikes, but no nuclear radiation or chemical contamination occurred. Iran has said the nuclear program is to develop energy, its president vowing a response. Masoud Pezeshkian's comments translated by Al Jazeera.
Last night, we witnessed the savage aggression of the criminal Zionist regime against Tehran and other cities in our country, an attack that led to the martyrdom of a number of children and women, innocent civilians, military commanders, and nuclear scientists. The Islamic Republic of Iran's legitimate and powerful response will make the enemy regret its foolish actions.
Jordan condemned the strikes. Most world leaders are calling for restraint. The United Nations Security Council will hold an emergency meeting on the strikes today. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump said on social media that he gave Iran time after time to strike a deal. Then he spoke to ABC News and called Israel's strikes on Iran excellent. 2 back-to-back judges ruled on California's challenge to President Trump's deployment of the California National Guard to Los Angeles without the request of the governor. A federal judge ruled the National Guard must be turned back to Governor Gavin Newsom's control. Hours later, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals temporarily blocked that order. Meanwhile, protests continue in Los Angeles and across the country, with hundreds of arrests occurring across the country. During a press briefing by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who pledged to continue immigration arrests, California Senator Alex Padilla tried to ask a question and was dragged out by security, forced to his knees, then to the ground and handcuffed. The move is widely condemned by Democrats. Republicans are reportedly mulling a censure of Senator Padilla. Christopher Martinez reports.
In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security said Senator Alex Padilla was disrespectful and did not identify himself. Video of the incident quickly spread on social media.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
The action drew outrage from Democratic lawmakers. Democratic Congressmember Norma Torres of Chino says Padilla was handcuffed for daring to ask a question.
They're trying to silence us. We won't back down.
On the Senate floor, several Democrats wondered if this can be done to a U.S. senator asking about the treatment of his constituents in a room filled with media. Imagine what they're doing to powerless people in secret. Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts.
Every day, Donald Trump is making this nation look more and more like a fascist state.
Reporting for Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
The Department of Homeland Security's notified more than 500,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans they have to leave the country. They were sent termination notices. The temporary permission to live and work in the U.S. under the Biden administration has been revoked, ending their humanitarian parole program. The House has voted to cut $9.4 billion in spending, narrowly passed Thursday, with cuts targeting foreign aid programs and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which provides funding for thousands of community and public radio and TV stations around the country. The vote was 214 to 212. Republicans are characterizing the spending as wasteful and unnecessary. Democrats say the rescissions will hurt the U.S. standing around the world. Utah Republican Mike Lee has added a new provision in the GOP's tax cut and budget package that would sell off more than 2 million acres of federal lands to states or other entities, including housing and oil and gas developers. This after the House GOP dropped a similar provision from its version. Now in the Senate, it's opposed by veteran sports and environmental groups seeking to preserve access to wild lands. And one lone passenger survived the Air India crash that killed 241 people on board yesterday. The Times of India now reporting whistleblowers have been reporting concerns about Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner that crashed since it went into service in 2009. The accident, one of India's worst aviation disasters. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.